As you know, we are
Miss Florencia.
and Mr. Darío, your English teachers. And throughout this video, we will go through the topic pandemic and routines. As you know, the pandemic has changed the way we conceive life and has somewhat changed our daily routines. The idea of this project is to explore the way in which both our habits and the habits of teens around the world have been altered. This video will help you to differentiate past habits from present ones and associate them as habits proper to the pandemic or to a normal life. Spanish will be used when deemed necessary in order for you to have a clear understanding of the video.
The Google Classroom platform includes the activities you will be working on. Therefore, you will need to enter the site to be able to find what we are showing here and start working with the first exercise.
This first activity is called Life in Quarantine in San Luis. After having talked in class about our timetables during the pandemic and our current timetables, this chart will allow you to differentiate not only your timetables but also those with your partners. In this way, you will have to interact with them in order to find out the information necessary to complete those columns.
Esta actividad es la que determina dos ganadores que se darán a conocer presencialmente en el aula.
Once you have completed the charts, move to activity number 2, titled Pandemic versus Normal Life, where you will explore how teens from other parts of the world lived before the pandemic and how the coronavirus has changed their habits. In order to do so, click on the presentation Pandemic and Routines. This presentation has 4 parts: vocabulary, listening, reading, and pandemic versus normal life, all of them for you to work individually. Throughout Part A, vocabulary, you will make a revision on routine actions, the words learned during primary school and last year. You will be shown different pictures and have to recognize the action portrayed. Once you have finished with the last picture, click the Home button to go back to the first page and go through the second section of the presentation, Listening. In this part, you will become aware of the current situation in Sweden by watching a video of a Swedish teen talking about her morning routine. Click on the video and order the way in which she performs the actions mentioned in the chart. After having finished the activity, click on Answers to find the keys. There's a second activity for which the answers are provided in the same way. In the third part, you will get to know Emma Nishikori by reading a text about what her life was like 3 years ago and by doing an activity with that text, which also contains its answers. Click the Home button and find the last part of the presentation, in which you will be shown a set of 8 pictures to recognize if the activities portrayed are proper to the pandemic or to normal life.
After having worked with the presentation, move to activity number 3. In this activity, you will complete an exchange profile that contains personal information about you and the British penpal you have been assigned. Within this form, you will be asked to give your personal information as regards appearance, personal preferences, nationality, age, etc. You have the possibility to add any other information you consider relevant at the end of the form. After having finished the forms, the teachers will be in charge of swapping the profiles among students.
Well, now move to activity 4, where you will be challenged with a game. You will be a detective and have to spot the correct tenses in a sentence. Be careful because you will have 3 options to choose from. The idea is to warm up and practice before writing to your English pen pal.
Now, this is where you will start writing your first draft of what your final writing will be. If you click on the activity, you will be sent to the Padlet platform, in which first you will find a prompt that the teacher prepared for you to guide you in your first lines. After that, you will have to read the writing model in order for you to get an idea of what is expected from your piece of work. Remember, this post has to be written in about 160 words, comparing your routine now with the one you had 2 years ago, making reference to the different aspects of Argentina: city, food, timetables, etc.
After having worked on your first draft, now it is time for you to write the final version. That is to say, you will be writing the real email you will be sending to your British pen pal. First of all, enter the link shown here and write the email in about 160 words, comparing your routine now with the one you had 2 years ago. Take into account you can make reference to different aspects of Argentina. Do not forget that you need to write both their email address and a subject line before actually writing and sending the message. Remember that the British School will publish the best piece of writing along with a photo of the writer on its notice board for a fortnight. So try your best.
Now at this point, you will be reaching the final activities of the project. In this section, there will be a game competition. Click on the link below and write the code on the ticket shown. For instance, my ticket code is POVEUPGXS. Then, click on the game assigned while revising the verbs that we use to describe our routines. Have fun!
If you finish the game in record time, you can go back to the classroom and do activity number 8, the last one. In this regard, you will access the same link as in the previous activity and type in your code again to play a set of 3 games in which you will put into practice most of the vocabulary that have come up throughout the project. You can click on this symbol to go through the set of 3 games and play all of them to have fun, of course.
That's all! We hope you like the project and you have become more conscious of the effects the pandemic has had on our lives.
Thank you.